After Nduong Vuong built Seolo Citadel, God Kim Kui gave Nduong Vuong a foundation of his to use as a crossbow to keep the citadel. According to the god's instructions, a crossbow with a lever made of a god's paw will be a crossbow that can shoot hundreds of times and hit hundreds, and a single shot can kill thousands of enemy troops. And Nduong Vuong chose from among the servants a very skillful crossbow maker named Chau and assigned him to make a magic crossbow. After working hard for many days to finish, the crossbow is very large and very hard. Unlike normal crossbows, it takes a strong hand to raise it. And Nduong Vuong loved the magic crossbow very much, always hanging near his bed. At that time, Chau was the lord of Nam Hai land, several times brought troops to rob Olak land, but because Nduong Vuong had a magic crossbow, the Nam Hai army was killed a lot. So Da had to entrench and wait for the right opportunity. For Da saw that using troops was not beneficial, so he asked to make peace with Nduong Vuong, sending his son, Trong Thuy, to ask for a friend, but the intention was to find a way to break the magic crossbow. During the days of traveling to forge peace and filial piety, Trong Thuy met Mai Chau, the beloved daughter of Nduong Vuong, a young lady with eyebrows, phoenix eyes, and great beauty. Trong Thuy fell in love with Mai Chau, and Mai Chau gradually fell in love. The two became close. There was no place in Lothan that Mai Chau did not bring her lover to see, and Nduong Vuong did not suspect anything. Seeing that the young couple loved each other, the king immediately married Mai Chau to Trong Thuy. One night with full moon and stars, Mai Chau and Trong Thuy sat on a white stone in the middle of the garden, looking at the highest wall of the city together. In the story, Trong Thuy asked his wife, "Lady, what secret does Olak side have that no one can beat?" Mai Chau replied, "Is there any secret? Olak has a high citadel, a deep moat, and a magic crossbow that kills thousands of enemy soldiers with one shot, so who can still beat it?" Trong Thuy pretended to be surprised, pretending to have heard of the magic crossbow for the first time. He offered to see the crossbow. Mai Chau did not hesitate, immediately ran to her father's bed, took the magic crossbow and showed it to her husband. She again showed him the lever that was the toenail of the god Kim Kui and taught Trong Thuy how to shoot. Trong Thuy listened attentively, looked at the swing, looked at the frame of the crossbow for a long time, then handed it to his wife to put it away. The next day, Trong Thuy asked Nduong Vuong's permission to visit his father. He told Da about the magic crossbow. Da sent a servant specializing in making crossbows, making a crossbow that was identical to Nduong Vuong's. After finishing the fake dress, Trong Thuy hid it in his shirt and returned to Olak. Nduong Vuong originally pampered his daughter, seeing that every time he met his husband, he was happy and happy. So he sent his servants to arrange a wine party for the father and son to be happy. Trong Thuy drank in moderation, while Nduong Vuong and Mai Chau were drunk. When her father-in-law was drunk, Trong Thuy sneaked into the room to remove the pin with Kim Kui's toenail and replace the fake one with a regular turtle's claw. The next day, seeing that her husband seemed restless, stopped and sat still, Mai Chau asked her husband, "Is there anything you are worried about?" Trong Thuy replied, "I'm going to have to go soon. My father told me to go back immediately so that I can go to the north. The north is very far away." Mai Chau was sad and silent. Trong Thuy continued, "Now we're going to have to be apart. We don't know when we'll see each other again. If there is an unfortunate incident, where can I find it?" Mai Chau said, "I have a goose feather coat. Whenever I run in any direction, I will sprinkle goose feathers along the way. You keep running after the goose feathers." After saying that, Mai Chau sobbed. Returning to Nam Hai land, Trong Thuy gave his father a golden turtle claw. Chau was overjoyed, shouting, "This time Olak land will return to me." Just a few days later, Chau ordered his troops to go to Olak. Hearing the news, Nduong Vuong trusted to have a magic crossbow and was not prepared for anything. When the enemy army came close to the heart, Nduong Vuong ordered the magic crossbow to shoot, but it was no longer effective. For Da's army broke through the gate and rushed in, and Nduong Vuong quickly got on his horse, passed Mai Chau behind, rode out the back door. Sitting behind her father, Mai Chau plucked goose feathers from her coat and sprinkled them along the way. The mountain road was bumpy and dangerous, and the horse ran for several days and nights to Da Sun near the coast. The father and son were about to get off the horse and sit down to rest when the enemy army was almost there. Seeing the winding mountain road sloping backwards, the evening shadow had fallen, there was no way to run, and Juong Vuong immediately turned to the island, praying to the god Kim Kui to help him. The king had just finished his vows when a whirlwind of dust rose up, shaking the whole mountain. God Kim Kui appeared, told Juong Vuong that the enemy is behind the king. And Juong Vuong came to his senses, immediately drew his sword and cut my jaw, then jumped into the sea to commit suicide. For Da's army pulled in and occupied Lo Citadel, and Trong Thuy alone followed the goose feathers to find my jaw. Approaching the beach, he saw his wife's body lying on the grass. Although dead, her beauty did not fade. Trong Thuy burst into tears, collected the body, brought it back to bury it in the city, then plunged her head into the well in the city where my jaw used to bathe in the past. Today, in the ancient village of Lo, in front of an Juong Vuong temple, the well is called Trong Thuy Well. Legend has it that when my jaw was killed by her father, her blood flowed into the sea. The mussels were edible, so she had pearls. Taking that pearl and washing it with well water in Lo Citadel, the pearl is extremely clear,